Hey yo, guess who's back again. Tell a friend, it's FatManEvo. Make sure to subscribe, comment and share. Today we're looking at the steroid transformation of the late Eddie Guerrero. Everyone talks about guys like Hogan and Warrior using roids in the 80s, but if you look in the modern times, it was Eddie Guerrero and the late Chris Benoit who were two of the biggest prime examples of steroid users. When Hogan and Warrior showed up, they were at least huge from the beginning, but with Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit, obviously they grew over the years. Eddie Guerrero, if you look at his pictures from the mid-90s to the time of his death, he literally grew over the years, and he went from like a non-Saiyan to a Super Saiyan 3. Chris Benoit and along with Eddie Guerrero were both near enough 5'8", 5'10". They were carrying around 220 pounds of solid muscle by the end of their lives. Obviously that's not normal. Eddie Guerrero, like Chris Benoit, suffered from being small within the WWE, so they felt the need to drill themselves with the HGH look. Obviously, if you look at the size of Benoit's arms from the elbow down, or the size of Eddie's neck and chest, like Dynamite Kid the previous decade, their frame just could not support the muscle mass that they were carrying, and their hearts had grown out of scale to their muscle mass, hence the dependence on painkillers. If you look how Eddie Guerrero looked in his ECW days and compare it to the way he looked just prior to his death, it is quite startling to see how much abuse his body was taking. For a guy his size and frame, steroids had a serious and fatal side effect on his health. Obviously, if you mix in all the drugs he did years prior, your heart catches up and begins to weaken from abuse. Eddie's first transformation from the mid-96 to 97 was pretty crazy. He pretty much went from bulky to super ripped. He had a lean but ripped body during ECW, WCW days and the WWE from 2000 and 2001, but this all changed when he returned in 2002. There was a complete transformation. His arms were super jacked, but the rest of his body was much smaller. His shoulders began to catch up, but the rest of his body remained disproportioned. In 2003, the rest of his body caught up and he became jacked until the day he passed. If you look at Eddie Guerrero's match from WrestleMania 21 with Rey Mysterio, you can tell, you can spot some acne on his back and chest. He was, by this time he was extremely juiced up, and obviously later on that year he would actually die. Eddie's primary cause of death was heart failure. People don't realise that the heart is a muscle, and when you're on steroids it enlarges your heart. His past alcohol and drug use didn't help either. According to Benoit's former sister-in-law, he was juicing quite for a while, and at the time of his death they discovered during the autopsy that he had a enlarged heart, which would have killed him anyway within a year. So just to conclude, obviously the human body only gets so big from lifting weights. If it looks unnatural, it usually is. So just stay natural. And yeah, thanks for checking the video out. Make sure to subscribe, comment and share. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, and hopefully I'll be back with another video anytime soon.